Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at hemholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so we are back today. We're doing some more film breakdowns here. We're able to do some John Jenkins, do a deep dive into the big man inside, and I'm doing some Zamir White, just all zone runs. So we're going to see if he can run zone today. That's what our goal is for that. So other news in the slow time, we got what 3 weeks, right, till training camp, kind of, right? 21st.
Yeah, I think the 21st and 23rd.
23rd. Yeah, so we got
23rd.
Exactly 3 weeks, actually 21 days from today. So we're 3 weeks away from football action, kind of. And then getting close to preseason here. It'll be upon us pretty quick here. The buzz is reading Vic Tafer's mailbag and just seeing it everywhere, actually, like every article, is Malcolm Kuntz re-signing. I feel like there's a buzz out there about that. What are your thoughts on that, Matt? Should they get that done now, or should they wait?
I mean, I kind of think so. I think Malcolm Kuntz, like, he showed a lot the second half of last year and grew so much as a run defender that I kind of been pounding the table for them to get ahead of it. I just feel like if, like, I think I've said it on here before, where like if they try to do like a midseason extension, like, and he's playing well, like, it's in his best interest to sit there and say, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll test the market and test free agency. And we've seen how much it's exploded for pass rushers and edge rushers over the last few years, that getting ahead of it, I mean, obviously you hope you want to leave yourself an out in case things do go wrong. And hopefully you can maybe work that into the negotiations. But I feel like getting ahead of it right now with how much the market's been exploding would be the smartest move at this point, and lock in two guys that can really get after the quarterback and Crosby and Kuntz for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I'm kind of been pounding the table for him to get extended basically since January. So I can't argue against that at all.
Yeah, I think it's something they should definitely look into, see what they can get, like a I mean, if he's willing to take it. But it's still something they could do mid-season too. If they want to, kind of be slow with it and kind of see what happens. It is something they could do mid-season. I mean, stuff that's going to stop them from doing that. There's no franchise tag or anything like that. So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a thought process there where we can get it done now. But, I mean, ask what Malcolm Kuntz, what's his price right now? Is he trying to get what? Rashawn Gary, what is he trying to get? Is he trying to get 20 million, 22 million? I haven't looked up what his worth is right now on or like Spotrac or something like that. But, yeah, if he keeps playing like he did last year, you're going to be paying 27 or 26. So I mean, you're taking a bet, to be honest. Because with me, you're like, okay, if you're betting on that, like, are you betting on him to get worse? Like, do you want him to get worse? You really don't want that, right? So
yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, and that's kind of where I'm saying, like, if he comes out and he plays well to begin the year, like, he has no incentive really to sign like a long-term deal, like, or sign a deal mid-season. Like, that's where I almost like lean. That's where I push back against the wait till the mid-season. Like, the more you wait, the price tag just goes up, especially if he ends up playing well. And if he ends up playing poorly, well, now you got another problem on your hands because you got to figure out what you're going to do at defensive end. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of look at it, pay the guy now. Just that's almost going to be my philosophy with all these contracts that have been coming down the pipeline lately is, hey, the faster and sooner you can pay this guy, the quicker you can avoid a situation where you're sitting in a stalemate. But like you said, the big factor is what is his camp and what do they think of his price tag is. Because if they're already asking for that, then okay, yeah. And then I could see, like, if they're already asking for, like you're saying, like that 25 figure or whatever a year, then yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah, let's wait. And at this point, because now we're talking about just a few $1 million a year difference, like, let's make sure he can keep it going at least. But if he's not, and if he's being reasonable in negotiations, I say you just do ahead and do it now and get ahead of it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think they should re-sign Max too right now. I think they should just extend him. I know they gave him some money, but that was more like, hey, this is some, bonus money for this year. I mean, like give him bring him up to like 30 million or something like that, and just get that done, because that's going to go up too. So, I mean, that's something I think they should really, we're talking about Malcolm Kuntz. They need to get max now. I was watching Justin Herbert today, studying Justin Herbert, and I started with the Raiders game, and I was like, yeah, you got to pay that guy. I don't know what we're doing. Stop playing around with this. This isn't a joke. Let's 30 million right now. Get that over with. And then we can get to Malcolm Kuntz, because you can't pay him more than you can't pay Malcolm Kuntz more than Max Crosby. You can't do that. So I think you got to pay Max first, get Max up to 30. Let's be smart here. Get him up to 30 million, and then come back and get Malcolm. And then Michael, you can give me 25, right under Christian Wilkins, or 24. But you got to get Crosby locked in for another 3 or 4 years, in my opinion. But
I mean, we're looking at, I was doing the math in my head. We're looking at like $100 million defensive line for the Raiders pretty soon, maybe even next year, between Kuntz, Crosby, and Christian Wilkins. It's got quite a bit of cash flowing around right there.
I know. I mean, that's why maybe you hope O'Connell's okay, or he plays pretty well, or they could play action the hell out of everything, so they can have a cheap quarterback, right? 800,000. I don't know how much O'Connell's making right now. So they could take advantage of that at this point, or if you even draft one next year, if there is a downplay by the offense, then you could work it out though. But we'll see, man. But anything else? I was just seeing this article. Nothing really else happening with anything. It's kind of that's the main question out there. I saw the Rams were going to trade up for Brock Bowers and give the first and a second. I didn't want to talk to you about that before we get into the film, because I thought that was just interesting that they turned that down. I mean, he's never traded back in his career, so it's like, what does it take for you to trade back, Tom? Because to be honest, I would have took that, because that's another second round pick. That's another. I mean, you're just going back to 19. I mean, you still.
Yeah, you go back 6 spots, right? 13 to 19.
Right.
Was it a second round pick or a third round pick? Was
second?
Was the kicker? Yeah. I mean, I love me some Brock Bowers. We've all talked about that, and I'm a big fan of his game. But another second round pick again to move back 9 spots, and maybe you get a guy like, because Quinyon was the first corner. Was he still would have been on the board, I think, right?
I think so, man. Yeah.
I mean,
you could have got Terrion Arnold, man, or something. Anybody?
Terrion Arnold, I know for sure was there. So that, I don't know. That one would have been, again, I love Brock Bowers. I'm happy with Brock Bowers, but that is tempting. I don't know if I would have turned that down if I was telling Telesco a second round pick would have been nice for to pick up a guy, to get an extra pick, and maybe end up getting like another, I don't know, get another tackle option, or even maybe another pass rusher or something in the second round. But would have been nice. But we'll just have to live with Brock Bowers and hope he's the truth.
Yeah, man. I kind of found out the other day. I mean, I feel like he's going to play fullback. I don't know who's playing fullback, but Luke Getsy uses a fullback a lot. So if he's using a fullback a lot, they don't have a fullback on the roster. Somebody's playing fullback. So out of those two guys, is going to be that H-back is what they're going to call it. You know what I mean? The tight end H-back / That's why I think maybe Brock Bowers is going to be that. But maybe you make him Mayer, because he could block better. Maybe he's the lead, But then with that, man, if he's coming out the backfield on play action, they ain't no joke either. So it's a pick where I get it. Like, hey, man, I want Brock Bowers. I'm not going to give him up, but yeah.
I mean, clearly they liked him a lot, and clearly they were confident in him for a while. So if they're turning that offer down. So
yeah. All right, let's get into these players. So John Jenkins is what you did today. He re-signed for a 1-year deal, I believe. Had he definitely did his job last year. So what were your thoughts on John Jenkins?
Yeah, I mean, part of me just kind of wanted to highlight him, because I feel like he's kind of I don't know if he's under the radar, or maybe under the radar is a great term for him, but just more of an underrated player on their defense. I thought he played really well last year in the role that he's on the team for, which is basically just plug up gaps and be that piece in the cornerstone of the defense against the run in the middle. So I just kind of wanted to highlight him. He's a guy that I don't think gets a ton of buzz. I don't think he's a huge X factor, but just a lot of what he did last year, taking on double teams and just eating up space in the middle, I thought was pretty pretty valuable and one of the guys that was really more underrated on the team. So again, just kind of wanted to highlight him, show off what he kind of did this past season and what he can do moving forward. I mean, he just turned 35 here, and I think next week on the 11th, next Thursday. So it's getting up there in age, but again, I think you watch his tape from last year, like he's still kind of got a little bit left in the tank as far as mileage and whatnot on him. And again, really good in what he does and really good in his role, and kind of just wanted to highlight his role in the defense, what it would be, what it was last year and what it will be this year coming forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's a nose guard for real, and but he's not really like a huge what I would say like an old school bigger nose guard. He's not like Hankins. Hankins I feel like he's just a huge just nose guard, pure nose guard. I feel like Jenkins is more like what nose guards are like now, or they're like 320, maybe 315 kind of type of thing. I don't know how big he is right now, but he just when I watch him on film, he just doesn't stand out as like a huge nose that you will see naturally. There's like in
other words, he doesn't have.
Go ahead.
In other words, he doesn't have a big belly.
Exactly.
That word. He's not like he's made of jelly. He's got some muscle tone to him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you kind of tell he has a little bit quicker movement than you would usually see from a nose tackle. So. Yeah, he's not that bad for having him on first and second down either. So he's not awful in getting after the passer. So they have a good defensive line no matter what. I did Zamir White zone run game. Power is kind of he's good at power. We all know that. So it's we try to see if he can run what they want to run, and he was better than I thought. I think I did split zone, kind of more mid zone. I mean, they did duo. They really didn't do inside zone. It kind of frustrated me because I was like, I'm gonna do the last 3 games, but like the Colts game. So the Chiefs game, they ran a lot of zone. They ran the ball well. The Broncos game, the last game of the year, they did a lot of zone. They ran the ball well, but for some reason, like the Colts game, they did power, and it just didn't make any sense to me. So I'm just happy that Bo Hardy's gone because that makes no damn sense. So I think he's pretty good in the zone game. It's a lot better than I thought. But is he perfect? He's just not Josh Jacobs, I guess. But he's better than Madison. Madison, I feel like is pure power, and he has a bunch of offensive coordinators that were zone oriented. So he has a specialty there technically. Technically. But like on film, it's just a little different. I think Zamir White actually has a chance to maybe be pretty good in it. We just got to see just with, working out that patience and stuff like that and working it out. But yeah, it was, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? There's potential there. Gotcha. Yeah. So there's a potential for him to be pretty good at zone.
I'm curious, even at like the outside zone, because I mean, the inside zone, the quick hitting stuff, I feel like he's always been good at. But I'm curious if like where you're talking about like the patience, is that on the outside and the stretch zone runs that he still kind of has the work to do?
Yeah, I think on the stretch ones, I think it's more about like understanding, when it's just take the whole bounce or take the cutback. I think he's quick to go cut back a lot on outside zone. Because usually it is maybe sometimes the best opening that you'll see, but you have to get to it. I mean, you have to have the flexibility. I mean, that's where the Aaron Fosters and those guys, they could jump cut quick as hell, and then the next thing you know, they're running through that cutback and it's 70 yards, right? Even if he runs a 4.6, but it doesn't matter because he's that cutback and then nobody's there. And when he's trying to mix it up, sometimes that cutback can just open up for him, and he wants to get back to it. And sometimes that doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you just got to go straight and just take what's in front of you, or take that bounce too, which is something he never does. That's one thing you notice when I'm breaking down the film, is that he never takes the bounce.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of where my concern with him is like doesn't quite have the vision. And like you said, I feel like his lateral movement is not what he's ever been really good at, even coming out of Georgia, and not what you're hoping for out of his wide zone back.
Yeah. It's just, I think if they condense it, because I think in mid zone is when he was doing pretty well. If they can condense it a little bit, don't go full wide all the time, and maybe if they do that with Madison, and but I don't know if he's like this. I'm saying like he's not fully built for it, but it was definitely better than I thought. Let's just say that.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's actually just get into Zamir White first. Let's do this. All right. So let's get into some Zamir White here. And we're gonna start off with mostly outside zone. So this is an outside zone run. Open the game here. It is a split outside zone, right? So you see it's kind of split outside zone here. And this is what I'm talking about, like him always finding the cutback. You know, this is a good decision though. It's a good job him being patient and getting back here. Getting some yards there on this one. All right, see that cutback there. Find that hole. I mean, because Andre James is kind of getting pushed back here. Parham's getting, does a good job there making that block, opening that hole. Hooper does a good job getting up here too. He's able to kind of he's a tough runner too, though. I mean, that's one thing you'll notice. He's always going forward. Rarely does he lose a lot of yardage. So that's the benefit. Like if you're kind of in you're not getting like 3 yards a game. I mean, that's what it's going to be. Like a bad game with him is not going to be that ugly -1 yard or anything like that. All right, so here getting some more outside zone here on this one. So this one has some pretty good blocking here. And, this is what I'm talking about a little bit. Like you see it here. I mean, the opening is over here. Because if I take it back here, if you just see where Austin Hooper is, right? 54 cuts back now, but this is when you want to be going forward. And I mean, maybe Van Roten loses here, but even you see Van Roten kind of gets in front of it, and maybe Chris Jones is coming back this way because of it. I mean, it's Chris Jones, so I'm not going to say that Chris Jones is not going to make that tackle, but you see him kind of just make that cutback. He still gets yards because the cutback is there. And that's what I'm saying, because most of the time, if you run outside zone, there's going to be an opening with that cutback. Is it smart to get there? And it's kind of smarter to get here and just see it right away and not even just go full speed, right? And that's something like when you watch Josh Jacobs run outside zone, that's the difference. He's gone right up that hole. By the time this guy makes a decision, it's already him running past there. But you did 5 or 6. It's not terrible. There we go. So this one is more mid-zone, in my opinion, right? Because watching these guys kind of block is actually a good block by Parham. But you see here, and this is a huge asshole, so he can really go anywhere. I think he does a good job of it when it turns into like a pure power run for him. When it kind of it's just a huge asshole. It's easy for him to kind of see it. I mean, it's easy for running back to any running back to run through this. Especially you got Miller like pushing this guy into oblivion. So, I mean, it's just dominance right here from the offensive line. Just makes it really easy for him. I mean, but they're built to do that. That's how they're built to run the ball this year. So, all right, so here we go. Some more mid zone basically here. And this one, it is better for him to get the cutback. I mean, because you got Chris Jones kind of push these guys back. So he makes a good decision here. Bring it back a little bit. And I just got to ask you, Matt, should James be getting up to 50 here? Like, is he too late here?
Go back. Go back to the pre-snap.
Because that's what's good. Because I'm watching Illuminor, and I'm like, that's not outside zone because the way Illuminor blocks it. But
yeah, I would think he kind of comes pretty flat.
Anyways.
I think he would just want to get up to the back here. Maybe they wanted to help more on Jones. That's probably, I don't know. Maybe that was an adjustment, but I would think he wants to. Yeah, I would think he'd want to get a hat on that linebacker. I would imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a good job by him to find that cutback. But even a little bit on this one, maybe you want to take a little bit more outside here with this guy moving this way. You got Luminar got a good leverage on that block, so just kind of running into it like that. All right, here we go. some more, a little bit more mid zone here. So this one, I mean, I don't know what Johnson's doing. Maybe he's just tricked by 50, but nobody blocks 54, so there's really nothing for him to do on this one. I guess he could have bounced this one, maybe. You would say. I mean, because maybe he wants to get around to Hooper. He has Johnson leading him there. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, general rule, follow your blocking. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Johnson is wrong here, but
you know what I mean? Yeah.
If you follow him, you follow your fullback, you're gonna have a better chance than if you cut it up into the unblocked defender.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not perfect in zone, really. I mean,
yeah.
So it's just a little bit of a vision issue here.
Yeah. I mean, it
you got Hooper coming around here.
Yeah. When I watch that more, it does look like I don't know, because like you said, Hooper just avoids him too. The way they blocked it up front, it does look more like mid zone because it's not like Munford's trying to reach that guy.
Yeah.
But Hooper avoiding him too throw me off.
All right, we got some more mid zone on this one too. So I like this one. He was able to read it quickly. Yeah, just quick. You saw him get better at it. I mean, as it went along, because I mean they kind of moved to a more zone run game. He had to adjust. So like against the Broncos, where you saw a lot of the good runs from it. This is a good run here. All right, quick, decisive, get upfield. It's a good tackle by 6. So who's that?
Yeah, that's a nice play.
All right, here's another one here. Another look. I mean, see this one, like I said, against the Broncos, this last game of the year, you saw him get really decisive because this is a quick read by him, real quick. Get that ball handed off, get upfield. Good run there.
Even that though, like I feel like if he has more confidence in his jump cut to take one more step forward and press the line a little bit more, he makes Van Roten's job even easier with 47 flowing so hard in the play side, where that cutback lane is even more open and he can hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, he still gets 10, so I'm not going to nitpick him that much, but I felt like he was even a little quicker.
I feel you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he saw it, he just took it. But I know what you mean. I kind of set it up a little bit more, be a little more patient.
Yeah, be like another step or two. Again, nitpicking, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it. All right, so there's a split zone on this one, split inside zone. Right, so this is just great blocking up front. I mean, they kind of just dominated the Broncos. To be honest, I don't know if the Broncos defensive line is just going home, but like Parham is just abusing that guy. So you see how big that hole is, but I mean, he still was able to read it well. It's a big old hole right here. It's a good block by James too.
Yeah.
He should.
This is what he wants. He wants
to talk about his vision. I don't know why he didn't take this outside. He just.
Parham got 2 guys because Simmons was coming downhill
and outrun the guy, man. I mean, or at least. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a good run right there. All right. Some more here. This is another kind of split zone look on this one too. See, this one's interesting because it kind of like it feels like split zone that kind of looks like it's going to counter a little bit, but I don't know if that's him or because I feel like he kind of misses this one too as well. So I feel like he just gonna press that and then all right. So this is what I knew a split zone because so sometimes when you go split zone here. Like there's an opening, this was called the C gap right here, the C gap opening that he could take. That's when you know it's split zone, and that thing is just wide open.
Yeah.
So that's where he could be taking that because sometimes that gap is left open. Now you kind of see it on the backside of this one. Right. If he just is patient and just sees it, boom.
Yeah.
You
He
see
stays wide.
Devonta Adams coming inside of just been him and Patrick Surtain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is tough though, because he does have the D lineman showing color in the gap.
All right. Okay. All right. Another split zone look here. See, now this one, that's what, this is interesting because, I mean, he kind of is just following, Johnson. So maybe it's not, I'm saying maybe it is a little bit of kind of a counter thing here, misdirection.
ISO.
Now that I'm looking at his eyes. Because yeah, ISO type of thing. Yeah, because he's just, he's because if it's zone, he should be doing this. But he's obviously blatantly just following Johnson. So. Yeah, I kind of switch it up with the different looks here. So here's pure split zone on this one. Okay, see the zone look there. I mean, there's a hole right there. But you just tell there's a little bit of hesitation. Just hit it. It's right there. Just go. Just a little bit of trying to read it. But I just want to show him just run duo. So to me, they got to run duo though. The guy they can't just be like, we're gonna run wide zone, and I don't think they're that dumb. So they're gonna run some duo. I've seen Kyle Shanahan do it. Don't allow to be Kyle, because in duo he is pretty damn good. This is quick. Look how quick he sees this. Boom, boom. He's out there. He's out there.
Yeah.
Right. It is quick. He's decisive. In duo, just right. Boom. And then the end of the game here against the Chiefs here, like you see it, and then you see the opening. I just talked about that earlier. This time, look like he hits it, he finds it.
There we go.
Gets through it, stiff arm somebody. So you got to have some duo though. I mean, you can talk all the wide zone you want, but you got to have some power in there a little bit to make him, get the best out of him. So yeah, I mean that's what he looks like at this point. I mean it's it's okay, but they got to run some duo though. Let's not get crazy here. Wide zone is great. It's going to be good for everyone. But you gotta mix in some duo there, mix in some different runs, so he can get going and have some better looks, and just get the best out of him, in my opinion. Because his zone is just it's okay. Yeah, because I could have put a bunch of power runs in there. You'd be like, oh man, totally different back, gap running back.
Yeah.
But Madison's not the greatest either. I think he's better at Madison. But I don't know how much I'm saying with that. So that's kind of the thing with yeah. So it's important though, because they're gonna have to run football. So I mean, if they can't run wide zone game one, they better figure it out. You're an offensive line coach. I'm sure you have some philosophies, but you got to run some more duo, which it's similar. I mean, it's still a power run, but it's similar. Yeah, you can get it done that way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's still a guy that you want his shoulders going downhill. That's where he's at his best. And even some of those clips, like that last one you showed where he found the backside cut down back lane, it was with his shoulders still square to the line of scrimmage, or point parallel to the line of scrimmage, I should say. So yeah, I think he's still a guy that you want downhill. Like you said, want to incorporate duo in the offense. I don't know how much gets he run a ton of duo last year or with the Bears. Or
no, man, it's mostly zone, bro. It's inside zone tosses. I mean, there was some power runs here and there, but it's inside zone, wide zone, and tosses. Yeah. So, I mean, I think he can do inside zone, though. I do. I mean, I think if you're pretty good at duo, you can run some inside zone. So maybe that's what they might factor in on that, because that's still a little bit, downhill a little bit. And for him, it's not as much, bouncing or anything like that, like it is his wide zone. So I think you could still mix that in. But like I said, that's why you mix in duo with that. And that's how you get uncomfortable. So they did a lot of inside zone, though, last year, for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I think the best way to attack it is, get Zamir and Madison, excuse me, on the inside zone, and then Lobby on outside zone, since Lobby wants to bounce everything anyway. So I don't know. Maybe that's the formula. I don't know, tipping your hand a little bit there, but it's seems to me to be the most guys' strength in the backfield right now.
Yeah. They got to play their strengths. We just know that's what they got to do. And they can tell us how much wide zone they run, and maybe they think Madison can do it, but maybe he can. Maybe he just switches it up this year. He just, I'm wrong, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, so John Jenkins. Let's do some John Jenkins, man.
So
yeah, we're good.
All right, so like I was talking in the intro, run defense is John Jenkins' bread and butter, but I did want to show off with a couple clips because he does have a few instances where he can get behind that big body and get some good bull rushes as a pass rusher. Like you'll see one here, like when he does a really good job of keeping his pads down. And again, he's a lot of mass to be pushing some guys down. Now Spillane just misses the PBU on this one and balls out pretty quickly. But you can see like he'll have a handful of reps a game, or a couple reps a game at least, where he'll just like physically dominate guards and centers and just walk them back like there. I think that's the rookie City Snow for the Patriots. But again, he's got some promise there, and not going to be his strong suit, but he will be able to collapse the pocket a little bit and at least help with the pass rush and those few early down runs. Kind of the same thing here. Like you can see, like one thing that really stands out is his leg drive. Like from the moment he gets off the ball, his feet don't stop moving. Like that's just overpowering. Coverage kind of blows it here, thanks to my Diablo. Get beat by Stevenson on the choice route, but it is what it is. But again, moving on to his bread and butter. One thing you can't do is you can't solo block him. He's hard enough to move one-on-one or on combo blocks, excuse me. I mean, the Patriots try it here. I think this might be a little inside zone, weak side zone. And like immediately he cuts the field in half originally, just basically bench pressing our center here. I think David Andrews, that's his name for the Patriots, who's one of their better offensive linemen. Cuts that field in half for Stevenson, makes Stevenson cut it back. Nice play by Bilal Nichols here to take away the inside gap. Nice rep by Diablo here. Gotta give him some love after hating on him. Nice rep by Tyree Wilson here too. Yeah. And that kind of forces him back and then just ends up beating the center across his face. This is the other thing I like about him is he's so big and strong. Like he can still make tackles even with the O-lineman hanging on him. Doesn't always have to get a clean escape to be able to get the win and be able to factor into the play. This one's probably actually my favorite clip of the bunch, just because I think it technically went down as a sack for him because Patriots are all kind of screwed up. Like you can see Mac Jones goes to hand it off and Ezekiel Elliott goes to pass block. Like it's a play action pass or something. But I mean, for the most part, for his perspective, this is a run play. Like you can see him do a great job here on the down block, take his eyes in the hands, get his pads down, see that strength, bench press this dude, and then goes and makes a good play on Mac Jones in the backfield to get the sack, TFL, whatever you want to call it here. But again, nice thing here. Also, nice tight hands. You can see a little bit here. He's got his hand inside of the offensive lineman's here and on the chest. And again, walking him back. Another nice rep by Tyree here. Go get the sack. Counted as a sack in the stat sheet, right?
There you go.
This is the other thing I really liked about his game too. Like he's going to be on the backside of what is this? I think this is actually trap that they just Cody Whitehair blocks the trap guy. But anyway, like he's pretty quick to recognize like when the guy in front of him pulls. Like you can see like off the snap, Tevin Jenkins is out of his stance and he's already engaging with the center. Shifts his eyes and hands. And again, for a guy that's 6'5" and has mid 30s knees. Pretty good at getting his pads down and getting a leverage advantage.
Yeah.
Like Patrick here, I think 6'2", 6'3", so he's got Jenkins has a couple inches on him, pretty much even. But again, good hands, got the strength, ends up beating Patrick across his face, and one more time making a nice tackle with the O lineman still hanging on him. Nice play right at the line of scrimmage here.
I just want to be fair. As Cody Whitehair played center against Washington, and man, he was pretty good. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When I was watching,
yeah, it's not his best rep here, mentally and physically.
Wait, you're a center, aren't you? So it's you're a center. All right.
Similar rep here, backside power. It looks like this time, but yeah, same kind of thing. He kind of dominated Patrick a lot this game, like one-on-one block, takes his eyes to hands. This time even better pad level. Field goal post is in the way a little bit, but you can see to a certain degree he's got his head underneath Patrick's, hands inside. And again, escapes to the inside. Still has the O-lineman hanging on him. Same thing. This is one of Bilal Nichols' better games. He had his revenge game against the Bears here. Nice rep by him, too, to force the running back cut inside and back into Jenkins.
Yeah.
All right, which one we got here? Oh, yeah. This one was even more impressive to me because the way this was actually a pretty good play design by Getsy. Like, they kind of split the O-line where, like, the right side's running, like, an outside zone to influence the defensive line, defensive tackles, and even Trevon Merrick wide. But it's really just an ISO run where now we got the fullback going on to block Spillane. And, I mean, this is tough for Spillane to cover because it's such a wide hole. And, again, he's got to take on a block, too. But what helps him out is we get John Jenkins at the nose, closing the gap with the man. Like you can see, like by the time the running back gets to the line, he's got a much smaller space to run through. And then again, like this is just pure physical dominance, right? Patrick is trying to down block him to keep this wider and make Spillane's job even harder. But Jenkins just wins and overpowers him and helps close that gap from, what was it, about darn near 2/3 of the hash marks, or the width of the hash marks, down back into a phone booth. Good example of him helping out and making the play without making the play, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to a few of the combo blocks. This was actually his worst rep, why I concluded in the first one, because he does get beat off the ball, and actually Whitehair has a pretty damn good job of getting underneath them. Like this is a lot worse than the ones we had before. However, he just grown mans him. Has a little hip toss. I mean, again, loses ground initially. Like Whitehair's got him beat at this point, but he's so damn strong and so big. Just gets off the block and ends up making the tackle, or getting at least involved in the tackle. Like, again, and this is going to be his worst rep that we're going to see. Like, not great initially, but recovers well. Where being strong and being just a big dude can help out. Going to be a 2-gap nose this time, right up on the center. Does get kicked inside a little bit, but he at least stays under control. And this is the one thing I really like about how he takes on combo blocks. He doesn't really worry about Whitehair. Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt. He's gonna get collapsed a little bit, but because he stays focused on beating Patrick, he's able to recover and then get back in that gap, and he's not losing any ground, at least vertically, I should say. He's going to get kicked inside and a little bit on the other A gap. Once Whitehair goes up and climbs to the second level, now he can get back to the other side and go make that play because he's just worried about beating the man he's lined up across from. And that's, I think, probably his biggest strength. And something being a whatever year veteran, I think he's been around for like almost 10 years or something like that, can definitely help where that experience helps out. Getting on a few of the better combo blocks that he did here. This was a really nice game against the Patriots. They just had a hard time moving him all day. I do think Max Crosby jumps on this one to kind of take the tackle away from Jenkins. I don't know if he just timed it. Yeah, maybe. I think he got in the neutral zone a little early. I know they called it, but anyway, back to Jenkins. Like same thing. Worries about attacking the guy he's lined up across from. Good pad level. See a little bit the hands inside here, and like just wins at the point of attack. To the point where when this center goes up to block him, like he doesn't even move. He doesn't even budge. They're trying to work up to Spillane to get Spillane. However, when you can't move the guy on the first level, that linebacker just comes free, and he actually ends up escaping here and making the play, which is even more impressive. The extra credit, if you will, to here. He's already done his job at this point, again, by just freeing up Spillane and letting Spillane come clean and make this tackle. But on top of it, escapes, gets him right at the line of scrimmage. Might even be for a loss here where they start.
That's a loss right there.
Yeah, we'll take that. TFLs all day, baby.
That's a veteran rep right there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. See another one right here. I believe this is the last clip we got. Same kind of thing. Gets kicked inside a tick a little bit here, but that's fine. We can recover from that. But same thing, like you notice, like just worry about beating this guy. I mean, this is the best example, I think, of him getting his pads down because this lineman's actually doing a pretty damn good job of getting low on this rep too. But Jenkins just lower, drops his ass and anchors down. And again, I mean, Diablo probably playing, in my opinion, probably a little too close to the line, but probably closer to Spillane's depth. But he's free to be able to make that play if he stays a little bit deeper. And again, just stay in the gap. Running back cuts back when the front side guys do their job. A nice rep by Tyree here. I didn't even notice that the first time. But anyway, you see, just eating up space. That's all. That's what you want your nose tackle to do. Mm-hmm. Again, getting involved in play. One arm on the offensive lineman, the other arm getting the running back. Like just a big dude who can plug some gaps and again make a lot of grown man plays, as I'll say. I like to call them. So that's some pretty impressive stuff again against the run. A lot of stuff you might not see on TV and that kind of goes unnoticed, which is kind of why part of the reason why I think he's more underrated player on the defense, but does a lot of good for you, especially on those first and second downs. And then what he can give to you as a pass rusher is just an added bonus. And like I said, every now and again, he'll have a couple good reps where he can really collapse the pocket with some nice bull rushes, but definitely never going to be like a big sack guy, maybe 2 a year. And especially if he gets a gift on that one play action, like we saw earlier. So, but yeah, definitely a guy that I think can do a lot of the dirty work and keep your linebackers clean and be a true nose tackle and just absorb double teams.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that he does his job. I mean, I see he has one job, he does it well. That's really, he doesn't have to be a superstar. We really don't care. He's gonna be in there on first and second down and stopping the run and allowing these teams to be in third and long, which is going to set the Raiders up for what they really want to do, and just get after the passer and why they got all those guys all over the field. And well, they got all those wild animals and Max Crosby and Kuntz and whoever is going to get out of the passer, Wilkins. It's going to be a crazy festival of just pass rush because all the dudes are nuts too. I don't know how nuts Kuntz is, but I know Max Crosby and Wilkins are nuts. So having Jenkins in there to kind of, basically stop the run and then push the pocket when he needs to on first and second down. Yeah, it makes his defensive line pretty damn good, man. I mean, it's PFF said they're top 10. They said they're 9th in the whole NFL. I think they might be a little bit higher than that. I mean, but we'll see how they end the year. I mean, this is their year to kind of solidify themselves as they're one of the better defensive lines in the league, and a great defensive line can take you to the playoffs. I mean, to be honest, they can, because this is a passing league. It's not like it's a running league. I mean, especially you got Justin Herbert, and I don't care. Jim Harbaugh says he's going to run the ball. I think they're going to have some funny passing concepts, but I think they're going to pass still. It's more than we think. So
for sure. I mean, D-line is the strength of the team. That's where most of the talent is. As we were talking about in the beginning, that's where a lot of the money is too. So a lot of future money is going to be at too. So, and then John Jenkins isn't even one of those guys that's getting paid a lot. I think he's getting like, I think he may have gotten a pay bump, but it's not as like he's that far above the veteran minimum for how many years of service he has and all that stuff. So again, a lot of guys a few superstars in Crosby and Wilkins, maybe Kuntz can get up there this year too. And a bunch of guys that just do their jobs really well between him and Adam Butler, who I think we looked at last time before or something like that. Again, a lot of guys who just kind of know their role and know their job and do it at a high level, execute it at a high level for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Did Zamir White and John Jenkins. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Go ahead and copy a shirt as well. Let me get that. Where's the? Oh, there it is. Oh, boom. hit the QR code right there. Get the QR code up there, copy a shirt, and support the channel. And yeah, join the members, guys. Like I said, I got 2 Luke Gessie first halves. One, they passed a lot. The other, they ran a lot. So it's just a good mixture. So go ahead and check those out. Join the membership. And then I got the shorter versions up on for Luke Gessie as well. So go ahead, check those out, guys. And we'll be back with some more breakdowns. Probably was it just Wednesday? It's probably a Monday, or I don't know. We'll be back, guys. All right.
We're not going anywhere.
Exactly. All right. See you guys. We're out of here.
Yeah.